York University recognizes that many Indigenous nations have longstanding relationships with the territories upon which York University campuses are located that precede the establishment of York University. York University acknowledges its presence on the traditional territory of many Indigenous nations. The area known as Takaranto has been caretaken by the Anishinaabe Nation, the Haudenosaunee Confederacy, and the Huron-Wendat. It is now home to many First Nation, Inuit, and Métis communities. We acknowledge the current treaty holders, the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. This territory is subject of the Dish with One Spoon Wampum Belt Covenant, an agreement to peaceably share and care for the Great Lakes region. And sorry, we're going to have Pamela now talk to you.
So Ani and Bojo, they're wonderful folks. So I'm going to let you know who I am in my language first, my wonderful friends. And we're going to be doing a little bit of introducing because I got some good stuff for you this evening. So Ani and Bojo, wasa ekawabit kwenedish nakas gnoje dodam segmak nishnabek donjaba. So my wonderful friends, in my language, I said to you that my name is She That Looks Ahead, and I'm from a small community here in Northern Ontario, right outside of Sudbury, called Sagamok. Well, I don't know if it's so small. It's got like 2,000 people in my home community. But not only that, Gnoje Dodam, my family or the clan that I belong to that gives me my role is the pike. Yes, it is the fish people. And that is again, my family and my Dodam that gives me, again, a lot of sense of where I am going. Now, my beautiful friends, number one, Scott, Megan, Carissa, Colleen, Avalon, Tabitha, Aaron, Christina, Maura, Karen, Bailey, Adam, I know you're there, Carly, Melissa, Illyria, Amanda, Samantha, Tanya, Mackenzie, Stephanie, Serena, Tristan, Michelle, and another gorgeous Stephanie. I just want to say to you, wonderful folks, again, these words, optionishin, which means in my language, it is so good. I have to tell you, congratulations. I can't begin to tell you how I am so excited to see you here tonight, to actually go from looking at you on paper to seeing your beautiful names, faces, and voices here. So you're going to get a little taste of what you're going to be experiencing, my gorgeous friends. So do not be scared. So again, keep your, selves muted so that you don't get the boot out of here. And if you don't have, again, beautiful friends, great Wi-Fi, it's okay to keep your screen off. But we're going to do an activity. I want you to get ready. I want you to get ready. I want you to go like this. Try it. You can do it. I swear you can do it. Try it. I see you there. You know you can do it. Try it. Try it. Oh, yes, Christina, love, I see your beautiful face. You're right there. So try it. Hands like this, friends. And I want you to say these words. I want you to say me gwetch. Try it. Me gwetch. One more time, but a new word, okay? All of our languages. So that was Ojibwe for thank you. Now, one more time, we're going to go real hardcore. We're going to shake it up like we never shook it before. And we are going to say nyawa, which is, again, hodnashone, angwe, hungwe, for thank you. Not only that, for our Métis relations, we're going to go like this one more time. And I want you to say with me, Farsi, which is Michi for thank you. Oh my goodness. Now, Nakarmeek, hi, and every Mossy Cho, thank you in other Indigenous languages for applying and for being here tonight. So what you're going to do, my friends, I want you to look at that bottom bar, okay? The bottom black bar on Zoom. You're going to see a chat function there. I want you to press on that chat function, all right? So give it a press. You'll see the black bar at the bottom. Press on the chat function. Now, here's what we're going to do, okay? What you're going to do is in that chat, we're going to put our beautiful names, okay? Or the names that you would like to be called by. You might be like, I want to be called the amazing Avalon. the terrific Tabitha, I don't know, all right? But you're going to put your beautiful names in the chat, all right? And then the other thing that you're going to do, you're going to let us know where you're coming from. Adam, where are you coming from? All right, where are you from tonight? All right, so again, name and where it is that you are coming in from, all right? And if you want to put your home communities too, that's okay. Oh my goodness, we have got some people that are west side, east side, north side, south side, and I am thankful. Oh, we got McBoggy here. We got some McBoggies. I am loving this. Oh, I can't believe it. Stephanie from Sydney, BC, 3-hour time difference. Thank you for being here. So we see all of these beautiful names, my friends, and I am so happy. And we've got Ton, who's originally from Curve Lake. Thank you again for putting the names that you would like to be called by. And we've got Jane here, who's going to be your go-to. So take a look at the names that are there, all right? So as you are taking a look at the names in the chat, don't be afraid to be like, wow, look at the diversity. We got someone here from Temiskaming, okay? Bailey McGill, okay, in Stratford right now, Temiskaming First Nation. Look at all the beautiful names. The reason why it's so important to start from a place of Miigwech, Marcy, Nakarmeek, Hi, and Nyawa is because these beautiful names here, these are now your colleagues. These are your colleagues. These are your supporters. This is your cheering squad, and it is going to be amazing. So what I do want to tell you is that number one, you are being admitted to a program, all right, that's going to begin this May, and you're going to hear details about it. But let me tell you that you're going to be taking courses where you are going to be immersed in these things. You're going to be immersed again in our identities, and again, culture and language and teachings on that left arm, that two-eyed seeing, where you're going to be able to be like, yes, I have those foundations. And at the same time, the academic part, to go out into the schools and to work with our people and all people in a good way. You're going to learn from the wonderful Dr. Rebecca Yulin-Stubing, who is like an amazing, again, Métis professor, and is going to be doing some pretty cool things with you folks. I'm going to tell you that right now. Listen, I'm going to give you an example of a class, but don't tell anybody, okay? We actually had a class that was a paint night, and I'm going to tell you that that paint night, that we had the opportunity to also hear from guest speakers from the Two-Spirited community to talk about how it is that we would infuse, again, those teachings in a good way in schools. And then we got to paint and do self-care, but also talk about how it is that that can be applied in learning. You're going to be doing some really amazing things. The one thing that you need to know about this program is that you're going to have amazing profs and instructors, amazing practicums, but the most amazing part of it is you beautiful folks. And I am beyond pumped to know that you are going to be here in May and you'll be taking courses with us and that you are now my colleagues as well. Now, I'm going to give you some advice, okay? Now, you're probably thinking, listen, why is she giving us advice? I'm going to give you 2 pieces of advice, my beautiful friends. And that is number one, you know what? Get to know, all right? You know what? Get to know eClass, all right? So again, you're going to be like, going, it's a learning management system, but get to know it, right? Because that's where your course materials are going to be. So if you have the opportunity to take a workshop on how to use eClass, where your courses, Zoom links, evaluation, and like meeting times, you know what? Take those, again, opportunities to do those workshops. The second piece of advice, important advice, and I'm going to put it into the chat, my beautiful friends, is this, all right? Is our wonderful friends over at Indigenous Student Services, all right, offer a whole range of services, events, tutoring, financial, guidance, access to bursaries as well. So you need to check out, again, our services there, because they are going to be that handy tool in your back pocket where you're going to be like, yes, I have an entire community to support me. You're also going to be taught by the wonderful Haudenosaunee scholar, Kira Brent Birakov, and also Marianne Grote, another Haudenosaunee. amazing scholars. You are going to have the best time. And beautiful friends, a lot of your courses are actually going to be in downtown Toronto at Wandering Spirit School. This is where our courses take place, because it is Wandering Spirit School, which is an Indigenous, again, focus school that inspired this program. And you'll be able to take your courses there and also see other grads from Waaban that have graduated and now are working there. So listen, you are in the place where you need to be today, tomorrow, the next day, and every day after. And you folks are going to be wonderful, and I don't doubt it at all. So I just want to say to you folks, all right, with these words, so let me see them. Put up your hands, my friends. You can do it. You can do it. Oh, I see you. I see you behind that screen. Shake it up real good. Shake it up. Shake it up. I want you to look at your colleagues here and in your own language, say thank you. Say thank you to your colleagues here, my friends. Then do it like you mean it. Miigwech, hi, bonjour, whatever it may be. I mean, merci beaucoup, whatever it is, my friends. But anyways, all right, you fabulous folks. I am so excited. And I just want to say congratulations, my friends. You are extraordinary. You are the best of the best. And I'm so glad that you're here tonight. And I'm going to pass it on to my beautiful colleagues who will, again, give you some particulars about this program that you need to know. All right. So beautiful friends, I'll hand it over. Where are you, Jane? Vanessa?
Thank you,
Okay,
Pamela.
take it over.
Thank you. Oh, that's great. Okay, thank you so much. So Vanessa, would you like to speak on this?
I'm going to jump in. Your energy, Pamela, I always say, I'm going to try my best, but thank you so
Beautiful.
much for all your support. And you really do make this an inviting time for our new students. So hi again, I'm Vanessa. I'm here at the York campus tonight. It's a better place to be because I have 2 dogs and they'll start barking while I'm trying to do a Zoom session. So here's my second home. We at York University, maybe you've done your own research and information, but we're not new to the Bachelor of Education program and graduating teacher candidates to become certified teachers in the province or worldwide. This BED program can take you, if you want to go and travel, you can go out of province with it. But we're coming up to, I think it's 50 years, we're coming up to being a faculty of education at York University and providing the education program to candidates in both a consecutive model and a concurrent model. Now in time, if you're talking to people and they'll say, well, what program are you working on? I mean, really your home is the Waaban Indigenous Bachelor of Education program, because the way that it has been planned and cared for and going to be moving along with you. But it is a consecutive model that you're in. Concurrent usually means you're juggling 2 degrees at the same time, but you're full on doing the 1.5 years of the Bachelor of Education program. Dr. Toulouse has already spoken to a couple of the faculty that will be teaching you, but you will be taught by what we have called tenure faculty. They are connected with our faculty full-time, ongoing. Sometimes we invite secondees. Secondees are certified teachers through the board, and they've taken a couple of years leave from that board to work with our students. Through the Waaban Indigenous program, really try to bring in teachers who align themselves and identify themselves with the Indigenous lens. So you're going to be making that connection with them. And then, as Dr. Toulouse said, and we'll talk more about it, you will be at the Wandering Spirits School under the Urban Education Center, which is part of the Toronto District School Board. And I have to tell you, speaking to our director who makes that connection, very excited to see our students, to see you at the school in May. You're going to get lots of support, but you're already part of that community of education and schooling. And many of our faculty, as Dr. Toulouse said, teach there too. So that is us here at York University, and we're excited to have you. And then we'll continue moving along with our slides.
Thank you, Vanessa. Okay, so what we'll be talking, some of the things we'll be talking to you about tonight are the admission requirements, the OCT, that's the Ontario College of Teachers, the academic and graduation requirements, the student information, Passport York. So we're going to show you how to create your Passport York account and accessing info through the current student's website, which is a super handy tool on the York website that you can gain access to so much from there. It's a good landing page on your computer. We'll talk about the support services through the Urban Indigenous Education Center, fees and financial assistance, which is Martine's part. She's going to explain all of that to you. We'll talk about creating an email account, a York email account, and then finally enrollment. Okay, so the admission requirements. So for primary junior teacher candidates, when we assessed your applications, we needed to be certain that you had Ontario or a secondary school certificate. So we needed to see proof of that. And for junior intermediate teacher candidates, there's, I think, 6 of you. We needed to be sure that you had a university degree, and that needs to be conferred by the time the program starts. So some of you may already have that degree conferred or be in the process of finishing it up. So we'll need to see that that is complete. And to have the junior intermediate teachable, we just want to know that you've got, and we checked this already, that you have 24 credits in your subject area for junior intermediate. That's like 4 full courses in one subject area. The transcripts, so all of your admits were conditional because we need final sort of documentation to waive that condition on the admit. So we'll need to have official transcripts from the university that you studied at, if you studied at a university, sent to us by the time the program begins. So as soon as possible, if we can get the final transcripts, that would be great. And you can have them sent electronically from the university to York. And if any of you are York undergrads, you don't have to worry about the transcripts because we have access to them. So we can save you that step in obtaining those. While you're in the program, the courses that you'll be taking, the Bachelor of Education courses, our requirement for you to maintain good standing is that each and every course you take in the program, you receive a minimum C+ on each course. So it's not an overall C+. We need every single course to be a C+ or better. And also you will have practicums, which we'll explain a bit later on. You're going to have community practicum placements as well as school practicum placements. And those aren't letter graded, so those are pass or fail. So you need to successfully complete and pass those practicum placements as well. So the VSS information, I think Vanessa would like to share that.
Yeah.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to jump into this part. And just to share, the police record check vulnerable sector screening, it's actually cared for by the Experiential Education Office through Lindsay Lamour. So this is one of the important things to know. Because you're going to be doing your studies, this program in Wandering Spirit School, Urban Education Center component of it, it means you're coming into a school, and therefore, like anybody who's coming in as a visitor or as an instructor, we see you as a teacher candidate, you will need to get your police record check vulnerable sector screening completed. And we're asking you to get this done by April 1st. Even though the program begins that Monday, May 1, and we'll go on and talk to you more about it. We really want you to make sure you get your hands on it, because if so, we can't have you in the school. We can't have you participating. Now, here's the next trick. Any of you, and I can see some of you are Toronto residents. If you are a Toronto resident with the postal code M for Mary, you've got a slightly different step for your VSS police record check. It's all in the advising package that Jane sent you. It's long, so please take your time to read over it. But you're first going to go into the online form, which is completely secure, and you are going to upload your identification. So we need a piece of ID, a government ID, with your name and your address on it. So read through it. But again, that is for postal code M for Mary only. Now, before you can go into that form, and don't try it tonight, you're going to have to create your Passport York, which is your York authentic logins. We all have a Passport York. You will have one as a student. we're asking you to email Lindsay Lamore's office at vss@edu.yorku.ca. Because when people go in, she doesn't have a cute little alert on her computer that says, oops, somebody else filled a form out, somebody else did. So by emailing her, that will tell her, oh, I got to go in and I need to basically sign off on it. And then from there, your next step will be to take it to the, wherever it is, the police division, it's in the form, and then you'll have your form. It takes a while, like we hear it can take up to 4 weeks. So that's why we're kind of like, let's get this going faster versus later. But if you're a resident like me in York Region or Simcoe or wherever else, we hear that this is not a 4-week process. It can sometimes be done within walking in, showing your ID and getting it done on the spot. Another thing to note, and sorry, you're going to get lots of step 1, step 2, step 3 from us over the next week, so we can make sure you're going in the right direction. If you need a letter, because you didn't get a congratulations letter, you got a congratulations email. But if police services or anywhere that you needs to see an offer of admission letter for the May, we're here to do it for you. I'm almost ready just to do it for everybody and have it ready to go. So it talks about the start date, the end date, and so on. So that's a very important part. Please, the vulnerable sector screening, police record check for everybody, so we can have you join the program in a nice, fast path, please. Thank you. I see we have a question. We'll take a question, Jane. I see Colleen has her hand up.
Okay.
Hi, Colleen.
I see a question in the chat from Bailey. Can I use my current VCS? Hold on 1 second. Oh.
Okay, so Melissa's question, I'll jump into that one and then I'll go back to Bailey. So Toronto District School Board employee, correct, but still need to ensure that you have a valid police record check VSS. I know sometimes, and again, I'm not the expert on it, and this is where you can email the VSS at edu, is that sometimes as an employee, the board will do the police record checks for you as both as a teacher and sometimes in administration. So we can check on that for you, but it needs to be valid. And not just the fact that you're an employee with the board, they will need to see that you have your police record check, that form. And going back to Bailey, can I use a current VSC I already have for my field placement? You possibly can. It depends on how old it is, because I think they usually expire within 1 year. So if it's kind of fresh and recent, then possibly, yeah, you could. You're welcome to share that question with the VSS at edu, and they can check for you. Only a few months. Well, that sounds good. That should be good. You'll probably have to get it renewed because they only last for a year, and you're going to need to renew it down the road. And what if you're in another province? Do we just go to our local? Yes, you'll just go to your local. Great question. Whoever it is, RCMP, municipal police services, whatever, just Google where you live and it will tell you how you can get the police record check. Thank you. Good question. Okay, Jane, you there with us?
I'm sorry, I'm here with you.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you about
my house.
Oh, my daughter just came home from work and my son had blocked her, and then my husband yelled at my son to get him to move the car. It's like lovely. Okay, so I'm going to talk about petitions. So if while you're in the program, you encounter any troubles at all in your personal life, if you're having trouble managing the course load, anything at all, if it's not going smoothly for you, please don't be quiet. Please come and reach out to me so that I can support you and get something in place so that you can be successful in the program. Okay, don't be quiet about it and let it bury you. Okay, there's always, nothing is carved in stone. There's always different options and ways that you can be supported if you need to have some more time for an assignment, or if you need to, maybe it's, you know, you start the program, and I hope this isn't the case, and you find that it's not the right time in your life that you need to maybe do it later on. please don't be quiet about it. Please reach out so that I can support you and connect you with whoever else needs to help you out so that you can be successful in the program. We're a very supportive faculty, honestly, so take advantage of that and reach out. Okay. That was my little bit about petitions. Vanessa, would you like to
All
talk
right.
about the OCT?
My turn again. So the Ontario College of Teachers. Now, I always start with saying, you know, we think here at York, we've created all the courses, we planned it all out, which we have, but our program has to be accredited by the Ontario College of Teachers. They actually come in and they check our courses, you know, do surveys and so on. So your program, this 1.5-year program, is registered with the Ontario College of Teachers as an accredited program. Therefore, what that means is the courses that you're going to be enrolling in, or we're going to assist you with enrolling for the next 1.5 years, you'll need to complete them successfully, which again, Jane talked about that grade, C+, and you will need to also complete the minimum number of days, hours, in an in-school placement setting. We do 88 days. So you're going to get 88 days in the 1.5 years, twice a week. Maybe there'll be a block of 2 weeks, Monday to Friday, but you have to complete it in order to be a member of the Ontario College of Teachers. So we're really thinking ahead now. Summer, July 2024, you've completed the program. You know, you're a little upset because you made great friends. You've got convocation where you're going to see everyone again in October. But it's at that point when every grade is on your record and we have guided you on how to become a member with the Ontario College of Teachers. There'll be a couple of steps you need to do. We then nominate you. It's a dean's nomination to the Ontario College of Teachers, and boom, there's your name sitting on their website. And it will say, you know, certification primary junior, or it will say junior intermediate with your teachable. So we are a member of OCT. If you decide to go abroad or out of province, then you go to that province's equivalent of their teacher membership. They may want to see if your name is registered within Ontario, may not have to be, it depends, but you'll be ordering your transcript. So I just want to reassure you that this program is accredited for you to become a member with OCT and to be a teacher. So the nomination step, and do not think you need to memorize this now because I keep reminding you as we get closer to graduation. There will be a point where you will be connecting with OCT and you'll be creating your own membership account with them. I think it's like $200 too. You'll then get a 6-digit number and we'll be guiding you to share that 6-digit number with us on a good old mock form. It seems to be our way that we're getting information from our students. I can watch it and care for it and not lose it. And then once you finish the program, as I said, you'll be guided to order your transcript. We will send your nomination to OCT with that 6-digit number. Now, there's a part here that's highlighted in red, and it's very important to know this, that as a candidate that has been admitted to the primary junior teaching division, kindergarten, good old little ones to grade 6, and if you have joined us without a recognized university degree, so it could be a 2-year diploma, could be an associate diploma, it could be your Ontario Secondary School, it could be a mature student. You will need to, for this program to have been accredited for you to be a PJ teacher without a university degree, you will need to explore or ensure that you have got your status within your Indigenous network within Canada. So it's that card, it's that registration, because as a non-degree holder, OCT will only be able to create and accept your membership if you've got your status. Now, we can continue that conversation later on, but that is something that would have to be completed when you are done the program. Okay, we're not taking it at the time that you start with us in May, because some of you may not be, and you may be thinking about it, but you'll need to ensure that you have it at the time of graduation. Okay. You can read the website, and we'll be putting it in the advising package if we haven't done so already, so you can understand what that means through the Ontario College of Teachers. And the last part, you'll be graduating in our fall convocation of 2024. But please note, because the program's done end of July, we don't hold your degree off and say, well, sorry, you don't get your real degree until October. That's the ceremony. When you finish in July, early August, We will work with the registrar's office to have your program completed and conferred. So you now can go for your OCT membership and hopefully be part of the September hiring, even though you haven't gone to your formal ceremony. So again, Jane and I will be with you over the next year and a half to guide you through these steps.
Thank you, Vanessa. Okay, so a little bit of information about while you're in the program and the supports and that sort of thing that you'll have. So one thing that we would like you to familiarize yourself with is this MTRR blog. So the link is also in your advising package. So we would like for you to just go and check that out, because that's a connection between you and your mentor teachers, which are the teachers that you'll be working with in your school practicum placements. And it will really give you an idea of how sort of what the role is for you as a teacher candidate, what could be expected of you, but also what you can expect from your mentor teacher as well in the school. There will be information in there about how you're assessed, all of that sort of stuff. It'll give you a really big picture of your practicum placement. So we encourage you to check out that anytime now and throughout the program to go back and refer to it. Your monthly calendars are they're called the Google calendars, and we're getting those worked on right now. So we're hoping that you'll have access to see those soon, and we'll let you know when they'll be available. But that's what you're going to be that's going to be what you're going by for the 16 months that you're in the program. So it will show you Monday to Friday, month by month, what you're going to be doing, what classes you'll have. And if you have a regular class every week, maybe the third week you won't have a class because there's a workshop or something different. So we really want you to follow that Google Calendar closely to keep you on track week by week. Any book lists or course information, all of that sort of stuff will be what Pamela said. That'll all be in your e-class. So you're going to get yourself very familiar with e-class. And I'll talk a bit about accessing it later on in this presentation. The Urban Indigenous Education Center. So everyone has talked about that already. So that's where you're going to be, instead of coming to York, that's where you'll be going to take your education courses. We want you to get a YU student card. So that'll be your York ID that you can have with you when you go into your school placements. And you can also use it if you're ever on campus, which will be, sometimes you'll be coming up to campus for different things like orientations and maybe workshops and that sort of thing. So we would like you to get a YU student card, and I'll be sending you information on when the best time for you to get that, because I don't know if you need to actually come in person to pick it up. So we'll sort that out, but we'll certainly share with you how to do that. And the biggest support that you're going to have in the program is going to be each other, your classmates. You guys are going to become lifelong friends, and you're going to support each other and learn from each other and share everything that you're learning. You're going to bring it all back together. So that's going to be the most precious thing that you have in this program, of the people that you're going to meet in your program. So all of together. So Vanessa, did you want to talk about this slide, or would you like Pamela?
A little bit, and I might bring Pamela back in.
Lovely.
Because my two times I've been there is we were doing this in person, and then I never got to really play in the school. So this is down in the city, and this is where you will be each day for the next while. We have a dedicated classroom for our students, their space, but you're part of the greater school and the conversations and the support. So Pamela, is there anything else that maybe you could bring into this slide to talk about the school?
Yeah, so one of the most critical things about, again, being down at Wandering Spirit School is that you have this amazing opportunity to see, like, I mean, other Waaban alumni, again, teaching in action as well. So your courses will be there, the majority of your courses, and there's some that will be blended with some land-based activities as well. So you need to know that. But yeah, so Wandering Spirit School is, again, where your courses will be held. But not only that, a lot of you will have practicums there as well. And I really, again, encourage you again, like, to go in and, to check out again, like, some of the features of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go and put right into the chat, okay, just again, some information for you on Wandering Spirit School, including where it's located. Now, if you're already with the TDSB, you're like, listen, I know where that is. I have been there. And then you're like, you know what? And then you can attest to like how wonderful it is to have our people there. And also, again, to learn in a good way with our allies and our accomplices and our co-conspirators. And we know that they're also here. So always reach out to Jane and Vanessa and Martin when she also, again, talks about, again, the things related to OSAP and other important financial details. But listen, folks, Wandering Spirit School, I put it in the chat for you so you can go and grab that link and take a look. Yeah, because it is, again, quite a beautiful place that is really founded on culture, language, and again, the academic success. All right, so miigwech.
Thank you, Pamela.
And I'll jump in here too. Pamela, actually, when she introduced herself and talked about the types of support, this is the Center for Indigenous Student Services. It is here at the Kiel campus, but their support can go out and be there for you. So this is, as it says, academic, spiritual, cultural, and physical support. They're located here in York Lanes on the second floor. So Dr. Toulouse, Pamela has encouraged you to register with them and start that connection or in relationship with them, because they're a great center and wonderful, wonderful people to meet and talk and to share. And then the next slide shares something exciting. This was announced yesterday that through that center, we have got Nancy Gonzalez, who will be starting her role with us at York University, and she will be a traditional counselor with CISS. And she's not just going to sort of sit in her office. She'll be able to reach out to you through email, Zoom. I'm even thinking for her to connect with our students. I'm sure she'll come down and have a visit at the school when everybody is starting off in the spring. So this will be another person. You got a lot of support, which is great. A lot of people here for you. But Nancy will be a great person for you, again, to introduce yourself. And if there's a time that you want to sort of talk with her, spend a little bit more time. If you're trying to figure some things out, you've got Nancy to reach out to. Thank you.
Thank you, Vanessa. Okay, so eClass. So the learning management system that we use is called the eClass, and there's a link in your advising package, and the link will help you from, like, there's lots of opportunities to familiarize yourself by going onto that link. The eClass is going to have all of the courses that you're enrolled in. There will be like little boxes of each course will be labeled, and then inside each of those boxes is all of the information about that particular course. So there will be the course syllabus. There'll be like study groups, like breakout rooms, all the discussion groups, and submitting your assignments is all done through eClass. So like Pamela said, make yourself familiar with it so that you can really navigate it well, because it's well done. So it's as long as you spend some time, navigating it, you'll become familiar quickly and you'll find it very useful. So that's our eClass system. And then your practicum placements. So over the duration of the program, you will have school practicum placements. You'll have 3 different school practicum placements over the, not in the summer, but starting in the fall into the winter and then next spring. And you will also have community practicum. So the school practicum will start in the fall, like I said, and it will be 2 days a week in a school practicum, one school, where you will be assigned a mentor teacher. And that's where the MTRR link that I told you about comes into play. And at the end of your fall term, you're going to have a 2-week block at the school where you will go every single day for 2 weeks. And then in the winter, you'll have another school placement, again, 2 days a week, and ending with block as well. And then the community practicum is it's not really a placement that you have to go to every week. It's actually sounds really interesting. It's a weekly activities where you have outings, and you have guest speakers coming in to talk to you, and community connections, workshops. You have elder meets and talks, all kinds of stuff. It sounds incredible. So that's what the community practicum portion of the program is. And that will be the first practicum that you have coming into the spring start, the May start. Do you want to talk a little bit about more depth about the practicums, Vanessa?
Yeah, I think, you know, and again, the good part about the practicum, the actual in-school placement, is that you've got the summer with your instructors to get a feel for it and what's going to be expected. But it will begin in September, probably not the first week, because your own mentor teacher is probably trying to figure out their classroom. But let's sort of give it a mid to third week of September. You'll start jumping in, and it will be twice a week up through until December. And then there's going to be a 2-week block before the holiday break. And then you're going to move into possibly maybe another school. They may not all be at the Wandering Spirit. There might be another school that's close by, another mentor teacher, and you'll be part of that 2 days a week. It looks like it's usually Monday, Tuesday, the in-school placement. And then in February into March, it looks like you got a bit of a block time there, 2 to 3 weeks. So just before the March break, the regular March break. And then you come back to your good old courses in April. And then you move into May to another block time. And so those blocks in those 2 days over the period of the 16 months will give you your 88 days. Now, the 2 days, what we understand, but again, this will be shared with you come September when you're in the school, it's not like you're jumping into the classroom and you're taking over the class and the mentor teacher is going for a coffee break. Not that way at all. You're going to be a participant in the class. You're going to be supporting the class. You're going to be guided by your mentor teacher. Maybe if feeling comfortable and you're somebody who's very good with the arts or the music or physical education is your thing, then maybe your mentor teacher will say, hey, do you mind doing a 20-minute exercise on this one because you're really good at it? But you're not in full control of a classroom. Now, where that may start to become part of your in-school placement may start happening around February when you're in your, we'll call it your second real in-school placement. And that's where the mentor teacher might say, okay, let's start working on a lesson plan for you to do the following week. And we're going to have you do literacy and language, or we're going to have you do math. And I want you, we'll work on it together, but I want you to look after that class for the 45 minutes. So that's where you start building that confidence and going, okay, I think I got it. And your lesson planning. And then, of course, when it comes to the block in May, again, the mentor teacher is not leaving the classroom. You're not in full control, but you are really taking on the class and the curriculum and supporting them. So it's sort of gentle in the beginning, and now you start really getting your hands into it and playing and supporting those students. Experiences, we want to make sure that you get almost all the age levels. Like, you can't say, I just want to be a kindergarten teacher and that's all you're going to get for the year and a half. You could have a kindergarten class to grade 1, you could have a 2-3 split, you could have a 5-6. So again, this program, and that is common with all BED programs, we want you to be able to say, I've had experience in all the different age groups of my division that I am going to be certified in. And that is the same for the handful of you that are junior intermediate. You might have a 4-5 or a 6-7. Unlikely you'll have a 9-10 because the way the high schools are, you start high school grade 9 to 12. You may not have that experience. We'll wait and see, but it's usually a 4 to 8 that you get. And then you get to bring in your teachable subject. If it's the First Nation Métis studies teachable, if it's English, if it's history. So I hope that gives you a feel. We got lots of time to get you ready for it because it will start in September. And then again, this was just talking about the blocks that you'll have. It'll come to real when we've got that Google Calendar ready to go. Cross fingers, maybe tomorrow, and we'll send it out to you. And then you can see from this May almost until next summer what courses you have on what day you're going to be in school placement, and what those blocks are. Okay, so we want you to really know what you've got yourself in for to enjoy and be part of. Thank you.
Thank you.
And then the last thing, professionalism, right? So we'll get you ready. You know already when you're coming into the classroom. I mean, these students are going to see you already as a teacher. They sometimes don't know that you're a teacher candidate. So think about how you're going to be sort of, moving into the classroom, bringing in a smile. I have to share, I mean, we're all guilty of social media and sometimes posting things that are kind of silly. The first thing those kids are going to do, and we know it, even grade 1, what do? They Google your name, they find out who you are. Oh my gosh. So think about any social media that you have out there and kind of go, maybe I should sort of clean that one up or something. So, but that will be discussed, I'm sure, in May, June, when you're starting the program, so that when you're in the school come September, the poor little kiddies have nothing to Google on you. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Vanessa. Okay, so the enrollment piece. So that enrollment form that I attached to the email that I sent out to you, along with the advising package, that's just an authorization form allowing, sort of triggering me to complete your enrollment. I have to get you to enroll in one course. So it's that one EDPR 1000 course, your community practicum is the one course that you're going to enroll in. And then when you fill in that enrollment form and send it back, I've already got like half a dozen of them. You guys are amazing. I've already got half a dozen. So if you can send those back to me by email, then as soon as I see that you've enrolled in that EDPR 1000, which you can't do today, you have to wait until March 15th to do that. But as soon as everybody gets themselves enrolled in that, I'll go ahead and complete your enrollment for you. So you'll have your whole timetable planned. Okay. Student financial services. So this is Martine's piece here. So basically I could explain this part first, and then Martine can go into the OSAP. Does that make sense, Vanessa?
And Martine, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So basically we have it broken down here just to give you an idea of what the fees are going to be. So for it's based on 4 terms, and each term you're enrolled in a little bit different credits. So your first term, you're going to have 18 credits. And then in the fall, 13.5 credits, same as the winter. And then the following summer will be 15 credits. And this is based on this year's fees. So this will be updated and it will change a little bit. But right now, based on the fees that are currently posted, this first summer session would cost approximately $4,300. That's what I've got. And I will stop sharing and then allow Martine sharing privilege. Thank you, Martine.
Can everybody hear me okay? Even just a thumbs up, yes? Okay, perfect. So thank you all for coming this evening. So excited to talk about financial services. I know for you, your passion is education. Mine, it's financial aid. So OSAP, out of province funding, sponsorships, scholarships, bursaries, awards. And so just excited about making education accessible and affordable so that you can become or follow your academic journey. Because really that's what going to university is. It's a financial investment in yourself, not just personal, but also financial. And so today I'm going to talk a little bit about financial preparedness and maintenance. One of the topics that we're going to cover is OSAP, so the Ontario Student Assistance Program. For most of you, or some of you that may have already gone to post-secondary, you may have already accessed the program. But I will go over some pointers here to help navigate the process at York University. So to be eligible, you have to be Canadian citizen, permanent resident, or protected person. You have to meet the Ontario residency requirements. I saw that there was somebody from BC. You can apply still from your province to your financial aid body. So for example, we also deal with BC Aid in confirming enrollment or confirming the program cost, similar to what we do for OSAP. So you can absolutely apply through your own program, your own province. You must be taking at least 60% of a course load. As you saw, the credit's already predetermined, so you will be full-time throughout your journey. So there is no concern about flipping to part-time. You will be full-time throughout the 4 terms. And then, of course, OSAP is based on financial need. So it doesn't take into consideration your academic success or whether, you have not been successful in school. We don't look at grades. We only look at your financial situation. And then based on that, OSAP will pre-calculate how much you're eligible to receive. OSAP is also grant funding and loan funding. So grant funding is money that you don't have to pay back. Loan, you pay back once you've completed your studies and you've been out of school for 6 months. Okay, so even if you're thinking, I don't want to incur any debt, I don't want to take out a loan, you should still apply to see if you can be eligible for any grant funding. And on the OSAP application, there is an option to click off, I only want the grant funding. And then that way you can take the grants and, say no to the loan. You can access the loan throughout your studies. Okay, so if later down the road you're thinking, wow, money's really tight, you can access that loan, pretty much up to 5 days before the end of your study period, so that the loan can be released to you and you have that extra funding. Some students, because there is no charge of interest on loans, put it in a savings account, get that interest, and then as soon as school ends, put it back and pay it back to the National Student Loan Service Center. And then they keep the interest for themselves. It's like running a business, being a student. But there are many options available to you. So for this cohort, the first application will happen for this academic year, which is in 2022-2023. The application will be from May 1st to July 27th. We'll go over the application details afterwards because the exact dates will not be available for you to find on the OSAP application. Okay, so you might be thinking, I can't find it. I can't, but it's okay. We'll talk about it in the next slide. The most important part is that you have to apply twice, okay? Because the 2023-2024 is a new academic year and they use new tax information, all right? So in September or August, when you're like, I don't have money, how come? It's because you didn't reapply. So it's very, very important. You apply for summer, and then you have to reapply again for the other 3 terms because they belong to a completely different year, okay? You will be using tax information from 2021 for this year, and you'll be using tax information for 2022 for the August intake, okay? So when you apply, your first application will actually be for the summer term, summer 2023. You can apply now. You don't even have to wait to be accepted. You don't have to wait for your program. You should apply now because then you can plan ahead of time and say, oh, I am getting quite a bit of OSAP money. I think I will, I don't know, buy myself or buy some textbooks. I don't know what extra money you can use with that, but yes, you will know, okay, actually it's looking tight. I might have to look at other resources. So applying early helps you plan, right, to be successful so that when you're in school, you're not stressed about funding. So apply now, and applying is very easy. We'll go over it. So to apply, I usually use Google. I am like a first grade student. I use Google and I look up OSAP, and then it's the first web page that shows up. Very, very easy. If it's your first time applying, you'll need your SIN number, okay, to create a profile, and then that profile will follow you for the rest of your life. If you've already applied for OSAP, you'll log in and you'll start a new full-time application. As I mentioned before, the dates will not be exact. Our term in at York University will not be May 1st to July 27th. So if you're having a hard time finding the Bachelor of Education, okay, you can put random dates. Okay, you can put all the information down manually. The only thing that I need you to do is to submit the application. Once you submit the application, it's easier for me to go in and change it to be the information that you need it to be. And so I'll be working with Vanessa and Jane to get a list of students to clean up your applications to make sure, is it the right program? Yes. Is it the right dates? Yes. I'm also going to make sure that other information is accurate. For example, if you're receiving a sponsorship from an Indigenous band, so band funding, you will not declare it on your OSAP application. So I'll also be checking for that to make sure that you haven't done that, okay? And then it's also important that you're not declaring any bursaries or awards that you're going to get from York University, because we report it on your behalf. All right. So if you double report, like you report and we report, you'll get less money. You'll get penalized. So these are things that I'm going to check for you. But when you're applying, it's just good to remember, oh, yes, I remember Martine said, don't put that in my application. Okay. So important. If you can't find the program, it's okay. OSAP will say, do you want to enter the information manually? You'll say yes. Then you'll just put in Bachelor of Education. You'll put in random dates. I don't even care if it says May 1st to July 27th. It could be any dates. Then for your course load, you can put 100 because that's easy. And we'll fix it afterwards based on your 18 credits and the cost of your program. Okay. As long as you submit, we can fix it. If you don't submit, I can't make any changes. It'll just sit there until you submit. So just know that anything can be fixed afterwards. So if you're feeling anxious, it's okay, put it in, and then afterwards we'll check. Okay. Another important item is to keep your information on your student account up to date. So important for tax season is to keep your SIN up to date. So if you are getting student awards from York University, you will receive a T4, and then you can use that to do your taxes. It's also important that you keep your personal information up to date so that we can reach out to you if there's any issues. And then last but not least is entering your bank information. So York University wants to send out money to their students via EFT. So if ever you have a credit on file, we would prefer to send it through electronic fund deposit, so directly into your bank account, than to send you a check. So if you have the time and you remember when you're a student, to enter your banking information so that if you do have a credit on your account, we can send it directly to your bank account instead of doing it via check, because it's long. It can take like a month and a half to get a check. Okay, so EFT is the way to go. And then, of course, keeping your student account in good standing. So for those that are in receipt of Indigenous band funding, you will be exempt from being charged any interest. Okay. Some band funding does not cover all of the cost of coming to school. So some may just cover tuition. Some, they may cover tuition and the health fee. So it depends what your agreement is with your band. So always important, even though you think, oh, everything's taken care of, you still want to have a look at your student account, okay, to make sure that it's in good standing. At York University, if your fees are not paid, there is a 1% charge. Okay, and fees are always due on the 10th. So for you, your school will start May 1st. So those fees will be due May 10th. Okay. For those that have Indigenous funding, like I said, we wait until your Indigenous funding comes in. So there is no reason to be concerned. There will be a block on your account saying, oh, we're just waiting for that money to come. So you don't have to worry as much. Okay. So I also use our York University website like Google. We have an amazing search engine, and I just actually started at York University. I was before that at Algonquin College in Ottawa. So I know more, I don't know if I'm saying your name correctly, but we're both in Ottawa right now. And when I first got to York University, every time I look something up, I use the search engine at York. Okay. And that's the best thing I ever did. So I'm just going to demonstrate, because you'll probably never find this link ever again. But at the top here, there's a search option. And if I click here, I can go to student account. And it works just like Google. Okay, so the top one is the one for student account. And there you go. View your student account here. All right. If I do something else, okay, let's say electronic, I don't know if this one will work. Fund transfer. Ooh, it's there. The first one, request a refund, create or update my banking information. Okay, so telling you that search option is gold. Use it if you can. Also, same thing for bursaries. So like scholarships and awards. Financial. So you could see all my previous searches. I'm telling you. Financial profile. Here's where you can apply to all the bursaries and awards here. So yes, that's my last top tip. If you have any questions or concerns, you can reach out. Let me see here. Oh, hold on a second. Sorry. There. We do have advisors available on the first floor of the Bennett Center. We also have staff available via Zoom. You can call us. I'm going to be easily accessible through Jane or Vanessa, but we're hoping to transition or to make this journey as smooth as possible on all fronts. So financial front, I got your back. Okay, thank you very much. And if you have any questions, please ask away. I'm available. Thanks.
I'm just gonna jump in real quick before we before we move on. My name is Karen Warner. I manage the scholarships and awards portfolio at York University. Martine is one of my colleagues. We work with student financial services. As Martina said, you know, we really strive to assist you in meeting your financial obligations so that you can focus on your academics. Of course, OSAP is the primary source of funding, but York University gives away a lot of money to our undergraduate students. I think you saw it in the slide. We give $32 million a year just to our undergraduate students in support through our scholarships and awards program and through our undergraduate bursary program. So you coming in the summer session, we actually don't offer scholarships and awards in the summer. We do that adjudication for our fall winter cycle, but you will have the ability to apply for bursary support, which is financial needs support. In the summer through that student financial profile that Martine showed you the page for it. That application is going to open probably in April. And particularly if you're an OSAP student, like we know that OSAP doesn't always provide you with the level of support that you need. So we like to prioritize our OSAP students and provide them with supplemental support that you know, in addition to what they've received from OSAP to help them meet their needs. But the scholarships and awards, I really want to point out, I don't want you to miss out on the opportunity for scholarships and awards when that application opens in August. And that's because we actually have a special program at York University, which has allowed us to create awards that are specifically designated to our Indigenous learners. So what you'll see when you're going through our awards application is there's a section of optional questions. And we use those questions to help guide us to match students to appropriate award opportunities. So we do have a question there that will allow you to self-identify as an Indigenous learner. We ask you to indicate if you're Métis, Inuit, what your status is. Again, just for the purpose of matching you to award opportunities. Also, if you're, for example, the first generation in your family to attend post-secondary, that's one of the questions that you can respond to in the student financial profile, again, to match us. So we have funds that we have funding that we receive from the government every year, the Aboriginal bursary. We have a lot of donors who are very generous and want to support our Indigenous learners. And so there's a lot of opportunity to receive funding, some of it renewable. So, you can get it. And if you maintain a certain average, you'll receive it again in your subsequent years. So just keep that on in front of mind when you're doing your OSAP application. That should be your next stop, is to go to the student financial profile and apply for institutional aid. And again, if you have any questions about anything related to scholarships and awards, you can reach out to myself, Karen Warner, or we have our generic email account, bursary@yorku.ca. We're happy to assist you with any questions you have and help you navigate the process. Thanks, guys.
Martine and Karen, thank you so much for being part of this tonight. And you know what, we're very close. I have them on my little Teams chat, so we will be there to support you again. And if I need to reach out to Martine or Karen, we will do that for you. As Karen talked about, student financial profile for awards and bursaries. We do a monthly newsletter here in the Faculty of Education. It goes out to all our students. That is a key piece that I put in for the August and going forward to remind our students to fill out student financial profile, catch those deadline dates. And yeah, how beautiful. Let's scoop up some money to support you. If it's through your studies, if it's part of your tuition, if it's just other things. And again, Karen has always said there is some really good funding and we just don't get enough candidates that apply for it. So thank you again, Karen and Martine. If there's a quick question maybe that we can offer them, ask them before we continue on with the last few slides. Okay, if not, Karen has been very gracious to share her email. Thank you, Karen.
You do have, sorry,
Oh, I
Vanessa, there
see.
is one question from Colleen.
Thank you, Colleen. There you are. Please ask.
Sorry. So for myself, my income for my last tax year is going to be very different come May, because I have to take an education leave. So yes, I had full-time employment for this past tax year, but that's not the case when school opens. So is there a loophole, or is that more of a information I should get via email from you?
No, there is. So there is a form that you'll fill out. It's the student, hold on a second. Let me Google it. Hold on. Sorry. If your information has changed significantly, you can appeal it. So there are reviews available. And it's called, hold on. Yes. Request to use students' estimated income.
Oh, miigwech.
Yeah, no problem. And then I saw Tabitha, oh, sorry, Colleen, did you have any other questions? Because that one there, that form, you'll fill it out. It will allow you to use your current income versus last year's income.
Okay.
So that it's a better reflection of what your current income is.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. And then Tabitha here said that she tried to apply for OSAP and the May program is not available on the OSAP application for the BED program. Yeah, so that's why I'm saying that you should enter it manually. So I know that the dates are not going to be there.
I had it manually, and then I'm like, I don't know if I'm like, I'm
Yes.
gonna wait till
Do
Thursday
it.
and
Do
just make sure that that's the proper way to go. 'Cause
Yes.
I like to be on top of everything and get everything done as soon as possible.
Awesome. So yes, correct. You can do it manually, submit it. Don't be scared. We will fix everything afterwards, but you have to submit for us to be able to fix it. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks.
Great. Thank you again very much. Good questions. Okay, Jane, back to you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Martine, for all of this. This has helped so much. You have no idea how much this has helped. It's amazing. You have to come to these all the time. Okay, perfect. Okay, next is creating your Passport York account. So all of you will need to do this. And again, in the everything we're sharing here, all these links in this PowerPoint, they're all in that advising package that I sent to you. So you'll be able to do this. And some of you have already created your Passport York accounts as well. So you just have to go to manage my services, which is a link on the York website. And I agree with Martine. Our website is so excellent navigating. If you can put anything in that search engine, it'll take you to where you need to go. So it's mms.yorkie.ca is manage my services. And that's where you go to create your York Passport York account. And you use the first step is just your student number. So your York student number, which is in your offer, and also your date of birth. So username is your York student number. Password is your date of birth in this format. So year, so like 1985, month, 2 digits. So for January 01, and then the day, the 25th or whatever. So you have to be specific in that format. And then you're going to be prompted to change the password to something unique for yourself. So you'll create your own Passport York password. And this is how you're going to access everything that you need at York University. So your student accounts, you know, doing that student financial profile, everything is requiring a Passport York sign-in. So it's really important for you to get this done ASAP. And then you'll be able to access e-class later on and everything that you need at York, pay your fees and all of that sort of stuff. Okay. And then the next slide is enrolling in courses. So that one course that I'm getting you to enroll in that I mentioned, the practicum, the community practicum, I've given you the catalog number as well in your advising package. So if you just follow along these steps for the registration guide, you're going to sign in with your Passport York credentials and then just follow the steps to enroll in that one course. And then I will take care of the rest of your enrollment for you. And again, all of this stuff, if you have any questions at all, you can reach out to me so I can help you out. Sorry. Paying the tuition. So from the current student's website, there's this fees link here. So this is where you go to pay your registration deposit. So that's going to be due on April the 10th, and it's a $300 deposit. And these are just the other links here that you'll be accessing to pay your fees. And to pay the deposit, it's good to have that online banking set up, just like Martine was saying about getting that money transferred over that's due to you and all of that sort of thing. Having your banking information set up to do it all electronically is much better. And there's information on creating, it's like putting a bill, like doing your online payments of your bill and whatever bills you have. It's the payee is York University, and then the account number is your York student number. Simple. Now we're down to our checklist. So we want you to create your Passport York account as soon as possible. We would like on March 15th, so you can't do it before then. We have a window date set up for you to enroll in the EDPR 1000 course on March the 15th. And then that enrollment form that I got you to fill in and sign back to me will prompt me. I'll complete your enrollment afterwards, but you first have to just enroll in that one course. On April 10th, you need to make that $300 deposit fee that holds your place in the program. the VSS, the police check, we'd like you to have that in your hand on April 1st. So that when you do start the program on May, you will have it in your hand and there won't be any delays in you partaking any of the program at all. You'll have it in your hand and you can just smooth sail through. We'd like you to get a York U card, and that's through the William Small Center. I'll find out when it's best for you to get that card, and I will send the information to you by email. And any emails that we send to you, you're going to notice a lot of emails end up in junk and spam. So if you could just keep an eye on your junk and spam so you're not missing any important information, especially just like right now, we're going to be sending bits and pieces to you as they come to us. So just keep an eye there. And the transcripts, so the university transcripts, we will need official transcripts sent from your university directly to York electronically. And we would like to have those as soon as they're available, showing that your degree is conferred. And that's it. So we're going to be staying in touch. I'll be sending out an email. I don't know if it'll go out tomorrow, but early next week for sure, to give you some next steps so that you're really on track with everything. And yeah, so early next week. And if you have any questions or concerns today, tomorrow, throughout the whole program, I'm your go-to person. So please stay in touch with me. You can send me an email, or in my signature line of my email, you can call me on the phone. I answer the phone all the time. So you can contact me anytime and I'll get back to you for sure. So that's everything that we have to share with you. And I thank you all for coming out tonight. And I'm looking forward to, it's nice to see you on Zoom. I hope to meet you in person one day. And if you have any questions, please, it looks like there's a bunch in the chat. Or you can put up your hand and we'll answer them out loud, whatever you prefer.
Yeah, I'll jump in and then we'll take questions. Again, thank you so much, Jane, for being with us and running the slides. We will be here for you. What Jane said about sending an email, there's been good information here that we've gotten through financial services, SFP, even the questions that you have. So we'll give Jane and I a chance to go back tomorrow, talk about it. And then I think probably Monday or Tuesday, we're going to send out an email saying, okay, step 1, let's do this. Step 2, let's do this. Step 3 with some dates to help guide you, because you got an advising package. You've got this that we are going to send the recording of. So only all of you get this recording. So we're going to send it so you can go back to hear Martine and all of us chit chat. And then just make sure we'll get you there. Okay. So if we want to take some of the questions, that would be great.
Mackenzie had asked, will there be anything offered online? And I just answered her back to say everything will be face-to-face and not online.
Yeah, the program, Ontario College of Teachers, advises us on the way that the curriculum needs to be offered, and they have said that the curriculum, to be a certified teacher, we need students to be present in the classroom. There could be, and I'll throw it out, Dr. Toulouse might say, there could be 1 week where there's a course and they'll say, well, let's try and do this online via Zoom because, but this is an in-person program.
Should we answer some of the questions? I'll do the chat and then we can let them shout out the questions. There's Adam here has one. He's got his hand up, and I'll carry on in the chat, Vanessa.
Sure, that'd be great.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, Adam. Hi.
Hello, everybody. So I had a question about the police check. So you said you got to have it in your hand, right? So we don't need to send it anywhere?
No, you don't.
Okay.
The only exception is the Toronto because of the validation and information, but no, that is your police record check. You know, I always joke and say, you know, it might end up being that good old school secretary who's going to have a little look at it when you're coming into the school on that Monday, May 1. They may take a photocopy of it. They may take your original. Sometimes I've heard it's good to have 2 of them, but you hold it until you are present into the school.
Okay, and then can I do it? I live in Peterborough. Can I do it here?
You can do it. What's your, you know what it comes down to? Your formal address, like your driver's license or whatever it is.
Yeah,
That's
okay.
usually, yeah, it's usually where your identification is connected with.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thanks, Adam. Nice to meet you. Christina.
Hi, so I have a few questions. If any, I see a couple of people who've been in classes with me before, so nothing new. Um, I was wondering if, for example, like we wanted to take a course that's offered at York, but not through this program, would we be able to or no?
Good question. I'm gonna say no. I think come and chat with Jane. Of course, the course can't, bump out one of the required courses in the BED program. And if the course is taught later in the day in the evening and you can get here on time. And I've had students do that, like the 2-year BED, yours is a year and a half, still 60 credits for everybody. But maybe someone wants to play with French and they want to build on their French skills. So they took a French course through our Faculty of Liberal Arts and Professional Studies. It's not part of the BED, but it's sat on their record. So I'm going to a gentle yes, but talk to Jane about what you're thinking, and then we can just make sure that it's getting mapped in correctly.
Okay, I was specifically wondering because it hasn't been offered the past few years. Brock Pitawanakwa teaches Anishinaabemowin, so I was thinking of taking a course in that because he said he's going to offer it next year, but I'm not sure if we're able to. And then I'm a continuing York student, so I was wondering if the passport York and everything needs to be like re-registered. Like I know I'll need to get a new student card because it expires, but like.
Yeah, I think, and I'm staring at you, Jane. I think
Sorry,
your
I'm staring at the chat. I wasn't even listening.
It's
Okay,
hard to
sorry.
tell on Zoom.
I can't chew gum.
Yeah, it's about Passport York. And does she have to start a new one? No, it should be fine. Like you haven't taken a full rest from York, have you? No. So you're just going to now see in your case, Christina, and then if anybody else is a York student, York graduate, you're going to have another record. You're going to have this Bachelor of Education BED record now when you log in. And that's where you're going to be mapping in the course that EDPR 1000. So no, it should still be all the same.
Yeah. And if you have any problems with like signing in, it's not recognizing you or it's telling you to create something else, there's an IT help you'll see an IT help there button, and you can send a message to them. They'll be able to, if they needed to reset anything for you so that they'll help you out. It's an easy fix, quick.
You can tell Jane's got 2 children here at York. I'm sure they go there all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, and then 2 more questions because I'm just like that. I know you said for the like school placements, there's probably going to be split grades, but is that going to be focused on in our curriculum at all, like what we're learning?
So I don't want to sort of say, Pamela, can you speak to it? But Christina, remind me, are you primary junior or junior intermediate?
Primary junior.
Okay.
And I want to teach up north. So there's I could be teaching a grade like 1 to 4 class.
Yeah. So what you'll get in a year and a half prepares you to be in a classroom from the JI to the grade 6. So wherever you want to go to be a teacher, you're going to be able to share with that principal, that leader, whoever is running the school. I have got teaching experience with these age groups, and that's what you're getting out of the program. So if you're right now saying, oh, I want to be in a grade 3 class, that's my goal. All right. You're going to have that kind of experience with that age group, but you'll do literacy. You're going to see it. Yeah, probably in the advising package, you do literacy, you're going to do math, you're going to do the arts, you're going to do the science, you're going to do good old physical education, everything that the schools need you to have along with your in-school practicum placement.
Okay, but like balancing, I know about the certification qualifications, but like balancing the classroom dynamic when you are teaching more than 1 grade, like, will that be like?
But it's going to be in your blocks. So you'll be in, let's say in the fall, you'll be in your first in-school placement and you'll be with a mentor teacher in, let's say it is a grade 3 class, and you've got that for the 3 months. And you're learning how to work with the curriculum for that age group. Then in the winter session, you're going to go into your next school, or maybe it's a different classroom in the current school you were in the fall. And maybe that will be a grade 5, 6. So you're getting an understanding and working on the lesson plans that need to be delivered there. Does that help? Does that make sense?
Yes. And then just last question, for the offer of acceptance to be like not conditional, like we submit our transcripts or whatever, or since I'm a York student, I guess I don't have to. What is like, I'm not going to fail out of any of my classes. I'm just wondering if there's like a grade requirement.
For your undergrad degree?
Yeah, just like to finish off.
Yeah, it's an overall, and it's traditionally an overall C+ with your undergrad.
Any more hands up?
I'm looking around. I don't see any hands.
I'm still in the chat box. I said, put a message in. If I'm not getting to your answer, please just shout it out because there's.
Okay.
So
I see, oh, there's Colleen now. Thanks. I saw your real hand. I saw the emoji hand. Hi.
Apologies. Really weird question. What is the parking situation at the Waaban school, the Wandering Spirit School? Is it best to get there via the subway, or is there good parking there for students?
So I can definitely answer that, because the best thing, Colleen, is actually again to take transit to get there. So again, because it is on the subway line, so that really is the best way. There is parking there, but as we know, with parking in downtown Toronto, it is sketchy. So because you don't know what you're going to be paying. So again,
Yeah.
and because they do have a full complement of staff at Wandering Spirit that do, again, that also have vehicles there. So the best advice is to use transit. Yeah.
Should be much.
Yeah, no problem. And also, Colleen, I see that Jane has also put the enrollment guide information in there, that link, okay? It's
Yeah,
right.
for some reason, when I printed it off, didn't show up. I don't know if it's a different color of ink. It wouldn't show up on my guide. So should be much.
Welcome. Michelle had a question about, for school placements, are we placed only in the TDSB? Anybody, Vanessa, Pamela?
My tummy is telling me it is the Toronto District School Board. I don't know if it's part of the Catholic board, but I do know for sure the TDSB. And sorry, I have to sort of question that. And Pamela, maybe through your experience teaching.
Yeah. So what happens is that Waaban, because we through the Faculty of Education, we have agreements with the TDSB, again, to have our practicums there. Now, the other thing is, but also again with, I know that there's another agreement with York. So you need to know, but our placements are mainly in the TDSB. However, and this is the caveat that I will give you, is that we are in the program right now looking at options in terms of you having placements elsewhere, as well. So, but that wouldn't happen until next year. So you can definitely count on that first placement, that it is going to be in the TDSB. And it is really like a 5-day commitment, because you're going to have your coursework and then you'll have your 2-day placement, right? So that's why it really is that commitment to being in the area. But just know that we are working on something for for next year's placement, where there will be more options for you. So for example, if you're like, listen, I'd like to go to my home community, then that is something that we are working on, because we did have, because of COVID, we had to make a lot of alternative arrangements, and students did go back to their communities to teach. So again, we are exploring that option for next year, but this fall you'll definitely be in the TDSB. Okay.
So there's some of the students are asking about housing options for students in the area. Do you know anything about down at the site? Yeah. Thanks, Pamela.
Yes. Yeah. So I do. There is housing options again. So thanks a lot, Mackenzie, for raising that. But that's why it is so critical to register with Indigenous Student Services. The reason being, right, because as you fill out the information form, because what happens is that a lot of the housing arrangements, a lot of housing opportunities in the GTA and closer to Wandering Spirit schools, are typically, again, posted at that office. So that's why once you register with Indigenous Student Services at York, fill out I put a link in there to the information form, but I will also go and put it in again. Because once you do that, number one, once you register with Indigenous Student Services at York, then you're on their email list. So they'll be sending you information about events, about feasting that's coming up, celebrations, ceremonies, hours of the traditional counselor. And not only that, then you can reach out to Randy and the gang and say, listen, like, I'm looking for housing. And then they can say, okay, listen, we actually do have listings. So that's why it's so critical, folks, again, to register with Randy. And I'll just put the membership form in the chat, because again, these are people that are going to support you in a good way. Again, not only that, but they also have their own scholarship information as well. They have things that will come through from like Royal Bank and other things, Inspire. And that's why you need to register with them, because they are, again, a primary support for housing and finances. And also, again, they also have their, like, you can go and print out your assignments. They have PCs there. They have so many resources there for you to use. And also, if you need to mail things out and get things sent out, that's why register there. Yeah, because they are very helpful that way. Yeah. All right. Miigwech.
Thank you, Pamela. I don't think there's any more questions in the chat. Does anyone else want to put their hand up before we say goodbye? Oh, here comes some more chats. Can we be eligible to register with Indigenous Student Services because of being accepted in the course? Yes, thank you.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, and we have students, of course, that are not pursuing the BED, but they're Indigenous. They're working on their graduate programs, their undergraduate, their law, wherever they are. And so the beautiful part is maybe you'll get to meet them eventually too, if there's any workshops or discussions or any sort of celebrations that happen here. All right, well, thank you again to everybody. It's so good to see all of you and excited to see you in person. I think Jane and I are going to need to do a little trip down and visit you in May to say our hellos, because we haven't had this. It's been too many years of COVID, and it would be just nice to get away from Zoom and see you all in person.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay. Dr. Toulouse, Pamela, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Bamampi, everyone, and miigwech, and congratulations.
Yeah.
Cannot wait to see you folks in person. All right, Bamampi, everyone. Take a look. You know what? Yeah, reach out if you have any questions.